happening, YouTube? So in this video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about being a college dropout and if college is really worth it or not. In my opinion, I feel like it can be, but that's just with anything like a job, career, off the bam. It's all in what your intentions is behind, what you're doing. So I feel like the best thing you can do when you're in college, because a lot of people feel like college isn't worth it because you're paying all this money to go to school when you can learn all this stuff on your own. Like the internet is so big and you got this person selling a course learning this, you got YouTube, all these different platforms where you can go and learn the same thing you can learn in college. Yes, but I think the key takeaway from college is networking. You're in a big space with a whole bunch of people that is going in the same path or career field that you in. And I feel like with that being said, talk game with them, get to know them, get familiar, get some numbers, you know what I mean? Because if you go to school for business and you in a class full of people with businesses, y'all need to be networking. If you go into school to be a nurse, a doctor, whatever, you know what I mean? Like you don't know who you're sitting next to until you have a conversation with them. You don't know how they, their shoes or their path to walk in, because they may have a parent that owns a law firm, or uncle or somebody that's in the field that you're trying to get in, or they might be the next Bill Gates or so and so and so, and might got this great idea, and you could be the missing piece that they need, or they could be the missing piece that you need for your, your path, your journey. So I do believe that college most definitely is worth it when used correctly, which is i.e. networking. Now personally, I went to school on a full ride academic scholarship, so I didn't have to pay any money regarding that. The only money I had to pay back is like $2,000 because my guidance counselor at the time was like, you still want to take out a loan for like rainy day just in case. And let me tell y'all what happened. Took out that loan, right, just for them to not even make it kick in until like my first year, but the second semester, and they still only paid me half. So the first semester I had to pay for my own books because my refund check, something was going on with their system and they was getting something wrong, and my refund check didn't hit until that second half. And it was like, the school year is about over now at this point. Like everything I needed, I already had to come out of pocket for. So yeah, I just had the benefit of going to school on a full academic ride. So me dropping out didn't make a big impact on me. It was, financially. Now, I still owe that $2,000. To be honest, Biden owe that $2,000 because he said he forgave it. So they need to take that up with Biden. I'll probably eventually, if it really come down to it, I probably do have to pay that. But I'm not worried about that $2,000, y'all. But anyways, I do think college can be worth it, like I said, if used correctly. Like your biggest thing when you go to college is to network. But that's just in life in general. When you're walking about, you never know who you may run into at the grocery store, at the fast food restaurant, when you in lines, you know what I mean? Talk, get to know people. But yeah, so when people be like, oh, college isn't worth it, you shouldn't go, it's a waste of money, woo doo woo doo woo. Oh, another reason why, also too though, with me dropping out is because when I went to college, I wanted to be in the FBI. And I really wanted to be in I wanted to be in the legal field. But then when I learned what it took to be in the FBI, I was like, I don't really know if that's what I really want to do. Like on TV and everything, when I'm younger, I'm watching this, I'm like, oh yeah. Like Criminal Minds was my show. Hotch and all them, I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. That's it right there. We about to be solving crimes. We gonna get to the bottom of it. We gonna bring justice and all that good stuff. But then on the back end, I was just like, yeah, that's not really worth it. And then while in college, I took a class about like religious studies, and then I started taking sociology and psychology, and then those classes really intrigued me more than like my actual law classes. So because I wasn't I fell off the bandwagon of wanting to be in the FBI and wanting to be in the law field, it's like, okay, I don't want to keep, I could have kept going because, like I said, I was on a full ride academic scholarship, but it was like, I don't want to keep going to school and not knowing what I'm going there for. Like, I like school, and I always grew up loving school, but not that much that I'm just aimlessly in there. And I could have found direction if I did keep going, you know, maybe something would have stuck. But life also started happening, and so I didn't stay on campus. I went to Old Dominion University, which is in Norfolk in Virginia, but I stayed in Virginia Beach. So after a while, my source of transportation went down, and it was starting to become hard to get to and from school. So I ended up having to take a break for that at one point, which was my sophomore year of college, because I did a year in a semester. And so once transportation started getting harder to get to school and stuff like that, then I'm like, you know what? I'm not really knowing what I really want to go to school for, even though I'm starting to find a new interest in, like I said, the psychology, sociology, and religious studies kind of aspect thing. But, you know, it just got too much over consuming. So I took a break, and then I ended up getting a car. So when I tried to go back into school, they basically was like, you know, you was gone for so long. Like I was on academic probation and some more stuff. They was like, you know, we try to work with you. They tried to work with me, but it was just like, yeah, nah, it's not gonna work. I think I had lost my scholarship by then. Yeah, because I had started missing so many classes and things like that. But yeah, I feel like college can be worth it. Like, if you're going to go to college, network. That's the best thing you can do when you go to college. Forget the classes, forget the school and all that good stuff. Network. And as far as living on campus, personally, for some people that's cool. But me, it just was like, not my speed. I'm like, I live up the street. I could just drive here. Now, on the back end, it'd probably been a good thing that I lived on campus, because I would have been able to easily get to classes and stuff like that. I wouldn't have to worry about transportation. But like I said, Norfolk and Virginia Beach is their sister, you know, cities, like they're connecting cities. So transportation, I didn't think it was going to get to that extent. But yeah, so words from a college dropout: college can be worth it, but you have to make it worth it. And that just goes for anything you do in life. Always put your best foot forward with whatever you do in life, okay? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. Talk a little bit about my college experience. But it was fun. I love ODU. It was a good school, even though it was a PWI. And during the time where I went to school, so many of my classmates from high school was like, you're not going to HBCU, you're not going to the HBCU. And there's nothing wrong with HBCU, but the HBCU that was in town, when I went to visit it, it just wasn't the school for me. But when I went to, it was my two top schools that I liked, that I visited, was Regent University, which is a Christian school, and then Old Dominion University. Both good schools. I really liked it. Like the atmosphere of the schools. And one thing about ODU, like when I first signed up to go to that school, I signed up, like they did the thing where when you're, I can't remember what it's called, but when you first start going to the school, and they had like all these big events where you can come, and they had like the mascot out. We ate in the big the gym that the team plays in, the basketball team plays in. We had a big feast. I was able to family day. We did family day before we actually started, and my family got to come out, and we had so much fun. Like the people, the teachers, even my guidance counselor there, she was great. I don't remember her name, but shout out to her. But the school, the atmosphere was great. Like there was nothing else that shunned me from not going to that school or not completing school outside of life things that was going on. And yeah, so college can be worth it, guys. Simple as put it. But I'll see y'all in the next vid.